Hello. The rain has finally stopped, or at least for a few days, and so I've come out into the garden to mulch the beds and get them ready for the new growing season. I'm Zorab and this is Byther Farm. Pathways between the raised beds have got weed suppressing membrane on them, and I've covered that with wood chips. In fact, it's not just me, lots of my friends have helped pile the wood chips up onto these pathways. And after about 2 years, they have broken down. There's still some twigs, but most of it has broken down into a dark, rich, organic matter. And it's perfect for adding to the raised beds. So this morning I've come out and started lifting this and getting it onto the raised beds. This is the bed that had cabbages in it in 2019, and most of them are out. There's just 5 left to harvest. They had netting over them, so I put hoops into the ground, stretched netting over the top of them to protect them. I've now taken that off, moved it onto the bed over in that direction, and I want to improve the soil in here, which it's not terrible soil actually, but there's not very much of it, and it is still quite clayey and quite heavy. So I'm adding a layer of organic matter onto the top as a mulch. I'm not digging it in, it will just go on the top and sit on there, and the worms will come up and do their thing and incorporate it into the soil, improving its structure. And the other thing I use on the raised beds is this used duck bedding. The bedding material is chopped rapeseed straw, so it's chopped to about between 1/2 inch and 1 inch long, and this is a poopy bit. In the winter I have to muck out the duck house twice a week, and I put all of the used bedding onto the raised beds, again to help the soil structure. And obviously this isn't broken down yet, but it really doesn't take very long to break down. There's a nitrogen content in the duck poop, which helps to break this down quickly, and also helps to prevent the nitrogen in the soil being used to break this bedding down. So it's all good. It's a bit pongy, but that's because it's got wet. Duck poop tends to not be terribly pongy unless it's wet, and with all the rain we've been having, it is fairly soggy. So this morning I cleaned out the duck house and put the bedding at that end of the bed. Then I decided I would get the wood chips from the path onto the bed. So what I will need to do is, once I've got some more of this onto the bed, is to move that duck bedding up onto this so I can get the rest of the wood chips on that end of the bed. Yes, I wish I'd been more organised with my planning, but hey, you know, it's fine. It's just a little extra work. As much as possible, I want the used duck bedding on top of the broken down wood chips, so that the rain and the cold can act on those, but also so that the worms incorporate the decomposed wood chips into the soil before they start doing anything with the bedding. And the last task for me to do is to replace the wood chips on this pathway, so we've still got something to walk on, and they can start breaking down, and in a couple of years time I'll be putting them on maybe on that bed. number one gardening tip for today is try not to step backwards out of your gardening clogs and put your foot onto the very soggy footpath.